Ah, now you look like a promising client. Ah, now you...
I'm pleased Scum was chosen. He has already proven he can lead our people. And his speech was so moving.
Greetings, Zachariah.
I think it's time I answered Victor's constant attacks. I'm gonna need help, though.
That's what family is for, Zachariah. We are family, united by the mutual suffering inflicted by Victor. His time to pay for all he's done has come. We are united in that.
signing a truce with Aurora. Can you imagine? After everything you've done, it has to be
I don't mind so much, if that's true.
Have you read
Look,
the news
I'm
on
not
the
gonna
walls?
tell you your
A prison
business, because
tamper
I
has
sure
run
as
last
shit wouldn't
week
want you telling me
breakout.
mine, but if you're gonna be asking your old comrades for help, I doubt they're gonna want to do it if you're also banding with rebels, you know?
More fact than that propaganda crap they feed us all day.
Anything they don't tell us is for our own good. Besides, they can't risk spies tuning in and using our information against us. Be so ignorant.
Hey. Hey. Over here. Please. I need to talk to you.
Hello there, Zachariah. What do I owe the pleasure?
Well, now that you're asking, with Victor and the ASC after me, my only options are to keep running or retaliate. To retaliate, though, I need some allies.
I know you're right. Know it's a worthy war you'll wage. Know I owe you. But I can't risk joining with you, Zachariah. Don't know you well enough to trust you with my life. Or the lives of my men. I am sorry. And despite all that, I wish you the best. Wish you success. For our sake, and yours.
No hard feelings. Had to ask. Goodbye.
Hey. Hey. Over here. Please. I need to talk to you.
Captain, good to see you. I know this will sound crazy, but I need your help. The armies. I think I've come up with a way to turn the Assembly against Victor, but for it to work, I'm gonna need allies.
That's not crazy, Zach. He's out of control. Something needs to be done. The Army always remembers a good soldier's loyalty. Sure as hell can't help you officially, but we'll do anything we can for you under the table.
So what did you learn?
Strange things. Scott Seeker was, apparently, much more respected back in the day. He even managed to convince the Army at one point that he could heal and trigger mutation. The idea of triggering mutations apparently really got some interest, and the Army launched a new division and put him in charge. Even brought him a few mutants to run tests on, one of which was his son. Obviously never went anywhere. Nobody got healed. The program was shut down, and the mutants, including his son, were terminated. So sad. Almost makes you want to look at the old man differently.
Yeah, sure does. Thank you, Captain.
What a horrifying story. To think that a father's desperation to change his son ended with getting the boy killed.
It was to change him back. He didn't start off like that. You've seen how bad those bastards get treated in Abundance. No wonder he was so desperate. It was a chance at a better life.
I understand that. Truly, I do. However, I believe that instead of perilously trying to change his son's life, he should have protected his future. Help him live with his condition.
To find there, Amelia?
I don't know, debris? Tracks? Just something to help me understand how a top breacher like my dad could get lost on Eos Chasma, one of the easiest fucking roads on the planet.
My guess? He got into an accident. Something he couldn't avoid. It's happened to us, after all.
Maybe. I just want to find out. That's all I'm asking.
I fear I may be getting sick.
Sorry, Scott. I understand that looking for the remains of your best friend is probably painful, but Amelia deserves answers.
Sometimes the past just gives us answers we're afraid to know. I just hope that won't be the case this time.
Even if we find the rover wreck, it'd be easy pickings for a passing scavenger or thief. So there might not be much left.
The fuck you say that for?
Sorry, I just don't want you to get your hopes up.
Whoa, Amelia, ease up. I know you want answers, but it's probably best not to crash while looking for a crash site.
You kidding me? Wonder what you'd say if we actually went fast.
I guess everyone's version of moderate is different. Damn, the rover's still here. I would have bet it would have been scrapped by now.
Well, some parts are goners, but most of it's still here.
Yeah. Look, Amelia, I'm sorry, but this time I don't have any doubt.
I know. Thanks, Nisha. But yeah, I knew he was dead. I just wanted to know how and why, you know? And I still plan to, with what's here.
Looks like we found a tablet. And it still works.
Scott, I don't know if you'll ever get this message. It doesn't really matter now, I guess. Of my own peace, I just need to... So many things I wish I could tell you. My last thoughts and breaths are filled with regrets. I can't even blame you for sabotaging my rover. I was supposed to be your friend. I was supposed to be there for you. I was supposed to try to empathize with all the hurt and fear you were going through. But all I could bring myself to care about is making you stop obsessing about your son. Make you go back to being your old self for my own benefit. To have my old friend back. It was selfish. I was selfish. Even from the outset. The only reason I ever helped was just to help bring an end to the obsessing. And in the end, my own obsession with that goal led me to take away your son so you would stop. I wanted to take him so far away that you'd have no recourse but to give up hope. But you figured me out. You stopped me, and now I'm paying for it. I'm so thirsty. The rover is becoming unbearably hot. Unbearably hot. Forgive me, my friend, as I forgive you. Tell my daughter I'm sorry for not being courageous enough to keep her by my side. I should have fought for her. Stopped her from being taken away from me. Between the two of us, you were always the better father. Good to your boy. And here I am. Sid, never mind. Farewell, Scott. Take good care of Amelia for me, my friend.
I can't even... He was here the whole time? Not even that far from Ophir. If I ever find out who sabotaged his rover, who's responsible for him dying? You find something?
Yeah, I found this. There's a message on it, Amelia. One you're not going to be happy to hear.
Whatever it is, it's better than not knowing the truth. Give it.
Scott, I don't know if you'll ever get this message. Regrets doesn't really matter. I can't even blame you for sabotaging. I was supposed to be there for you. I was supposed to try to empathize with all the hurt. The only reason I ever helped was just to help bring an end to the obsessing. So far away, and in the end, that you tell my daughter I'm sorry, but to give up courageous enough to keep her by my side. I should have fought for the rover. Take good care of Amelia for me, my friend.
Where the hell, Scott? Where is he? found my father's rover and a tablet he left. You're a fucking murderer. And to think I called you a friend all these years.
What are you... What tablet? What...
You're gonna pay for his death. I promise I'm gonna make you pay!
I know Scott took your dad from you, Amelia. I know what he did was fucked up, but I'm sorry. He still means something to me. Please, let him live. For me. It's not like every day of his life isn't filled with suffering. He pays every day.
I don't give a shit! I barely knew my dad because of him! You fucking pathetic old piece of shit! Get the fuck out! Just get out! Get out before I change my mind! Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia. Sorry, Amelia.
Leave me alone.
This is what I feared. It is better to let the dead rest.
So, you guys don't think it's kind of toasty?
Amelia, look at me. You have to move on. You cannot change the past. All we can do is make the best of the time we have.
Shut up! Hi, Zach. How are you?
Hello, Amelia.
Now that we are at full strength, we must devise a way to compromise Victor's popularity at the Assembly.
I've got a lead. There's this grizzled old general who's been bitching about the lack of info he gets about Aurora. Right now, he's the only one with the balls to call Victor the Dictator incompetent. According to him, the Aurora Dowser's down shit creek and may have been booted off his post. If we can prove that General is right, it isn't just some senile old man. Maybe the Army's head honchos will be pissed enough at the Colonel to kick his buns in the sun.
And we would need hard evidence.
I'm almost positive that Dandolo can help us. Noctis sends merchants everywhere, after all.
We also have some connections with Technomancers over there. They should be able to tell us what happened.
We could try Anton. Aurora's a little far, but there's no place that's safe from Anton's little birds.
It's a start.
Even if abundance is run from the top down, members of the Assembly would pay attention to uprisings. Some of your local allies could help you stir up some anger in the masses. The ASC has made their lives miserable for months. People are arrested on a whisper, live huddled in fear. It would not take much to spark the powder keg.
It's a good idea, but we can't influence entire populations by ourselves. We'd need allies hidden among the people.
Back when I was an artist, I got into some altercations with Assembly members who thought my shows were blasphemy. Maybe it was because I didn't say Hail to the Shadow 50 times. I can't say for sure, but if we could get them to think that Victor isn't a devout believer, we could get the large religious sect of the Assembly to revoke their support and demand his banishment. Or we could just give them a little nudge in the right direction by making them believe Victor steals relics for his own use.
We'd have to stage an elaborate setup, but I like it. After all, Trickster must get what he gives. We'll need volunteers that can pretend to be ASC. The plan is right up Anton's alley. It's possible for Dandolo or the opposition to help us out too.
One last thing. I was told the High Judge endorses all of Victor's decisions, even though I know for a fact that he hates him, which is more than a bit strange. The judge is such an honest man.
Or if you're in the mood to make a scandal, I've got everything we need. Did you know that Victor employs young women to worm out information on men he keeps tabs on? And I'm not Victor, but I have a feeling he used that info to blackmail these same men. If we can prove it, the Assembly would have a major meltdown. Their beloved colonel, a pimp? To find evidence of his trafficking, we could look for the orders he gave his goons. Have you seen his hands? Far too immaculate to be doing this dirty work himself.
Back in my days as an officer, I ran into a band of girls, and I think this exploited girls topic may interest them. Maybe enough for them to help us.
Indeed. How's this? I've heard that a small faction of the Assembly blindly backs up Victor, no matter how crazy the project is. So I believe it almost certain that their chief of this faction was bribed. So unless we bribe him ourselves, we'll have to silence him.
It's not ideal, but I have no way of finding out what dirt the ASC has on that man. We'll have to go without his support, and hope we can get enough voters elsewhere.
All these ideas will indeed cut off Victor from his support network.
But?
This is going to sound self-interested, but if we could help the mutants escape from the pen, it would expedite the Colonel's downfall. The people and the Assembly would be outraged to know that after decades of civilized control, Victor was the one who couldn't keep them in check. I'd like to see the Colonel try to justify his mistake of so many slaves, particularly ones notorious for their feeble minds.
No, it's not selfish. It's a good plan. We're gonna help mutants in the pen prepare their escape. After a mass breakout like that, his reputation will never be the same. Thank you, all of you, for the ideas. Now let's make them happen. Hi, Nisha.
Greetings, Zachariah.
Rumor is Aurora's dowser was deposed. I need to know it's more than rumor, though. If it's true, we might be able to convince some members of the Assembly that Victor needs to go.
Even though I don't like the idea of continuing the conflict between Abundance and Aurora that has caused so much suffering, if it's what needs to be done to dethrone Victor, I have a few contacts among Aurora's Technomancers. They're not quite brothers, but they're at least like cousins. And I've heard their messengers nearly always follow one particular shadow path. Let me show you. This one here. If you go, you may be able to stop one of their couriers. If the news you're expecting is as important as you say, I'm sure it will be in the documents they are carrying.
Thanks, Melvin.
Zachariah, I've received a message from Dandolo. He has some information on the disappearance of patients.
Really? Did he learn where he was taken?
The ASC had him locked up in an old dome near Ophir. In his message, he says that it's a dome that Technomancers used to use. Does this sound familiar to you?
Hard to forget. Yes. That's where initiations would take place before a mantis destroyed everything. We'll have to go free him. The place must be teeming with soldiers fighting for Victor. But we can't leave the old Technomancer in their hands. Square one.
Damn, that's weird. But I thought the dome was in ruins. So then, where'd they put that old geezer?
There should be a few standing structures next to the ones that collapsed. Unless they've already started clearing the rubble.
That sounds like bad news.
It would be. There were secrets in those ruins. I would rather have stayed buried. Especially from the ASC.
That's the problem with secrets. All that time spent worrying about someone finding out, it's a burden that turns into a habit, that turns into obsession. I know you're just as scared about what's in the dome as what patients might reveal. I just hope the old man's still holding on. He's as stubborn as an unfed ostrich. But I don't know if it'll be enough in the hands of the ASC.
Poor Patience. He thought he was finally safe in Noctis. Instead, we threw him straight back into Victor's arms.
What do you mean? We saved him from that camp.
It's just, we must have attracted the attention of Victor's spies when we asked Dandolo to keep an eye on him. He was supposed to be just another nobody in Noctis, but our request ended up selling him out.
These thugs, more like cavemen with bigger sticks, don't understand respect, science, age, or knowledge. Any problem they can't solve, they'll use torture. What's 2 plus 2? I don't know. Let's torture the mathematician and find out. Ugly brutes. If they take power in abundance, they'll turn it into a Darwinistic jungle. A whole group of psychopaths, wanting to take control of everything through mindless violence.
Sounds like this story hits close to home.
It's true. I understand what that poor Technomancer must be going through. The pain. So, I hope we find him soon.
We'll have to be careful. The place must be teeming with troops. And as much as I believe in the honest run and gun, if they hold patients hostage, our rescue plans might have to be a bit more sophisticated.
You're right.
What is that place? Never heard of it.
The Technomancer's museum and library, where we used to do all our initiations. Kept all our knowledge.
So what? Then the ASC destroyed the dome?
No, I did. During my initiation, a giant mantis somehow snuck in, and obviously a fight broke out. And you can imagine what followed.
At least you got out alive, no?
Patience, wake up! Patience, come on! Damn it, they almost killed him.
Stop. Let me go. I won't tell you it. Zach, holy shit, is it really you?
What the hell happened to you?
I was on the way back to my place. There was someone behind me, and before I could turn, he was on me. Next thing I knew, I woke up in a cell. They tortured me for days. Wanted me to talk, wanted me to tell them everything I knew about you. Where you were, what you were doing, what we found.
You figure out what the tablet said?
Unfortunately. If I hadn't, then I wouldn't have been able to tell them anything, but I just finished when they found me.
What did you tell him?
At the beginning I fought, Zach. I did. I fought. Didn't say a damn thing. Then Victor came. And the shit he did to me, Zach, you have no idea. I didn't tell him everything. I didn't, but I had to tell him something. Or I told him what I found in the tablet. Everything. I'm so sorry.
Stop. It's fine. You did what you could. Everyone's got a breaking point. What did it say?
It talked about a giant research base that was able to keep in contact with Earth. They had a beacon and gave the base's coordinates. I mean, the coordinates weren't up to date anymore, so I had to recalculate them, but it's in the South Pole, Zach. It's protected by a huge layer of ice.
If you can walk, we need to get out of here.
I can. Let me try. Just let me rest a minute. Just a minute.
All right, let's untie you and get you out of here.
Must find the City of Ice before they do, Zachariah. If Victor finds the beacon, he could use it to gain the people's trust. Furthermore, if he finds the secrets buried there...
He's got a head start, but we'll catch him.
Aye, aye, Zach. If it's really the City of Ice.
What?
I'll have to make some mods. It'll be tougher than you think. Also, wear an extra layer or two if you don't want to freeze your nuts off.
Big Ice City. That reminds me of...
A tangent that'll lead to another tangent?
No, Yes, that was it.
As long as Victor has the Assembly's blessing and the full support of the ASC, it'll be pointless to look for that city. With his huge resource advantage, he'd beat us there every time.
What do you think we'll find in that lost city? You know, besides the beacon. I suspect the settlers brought back plants and animals from Earth, and probably left some in that base. And if just a few survived, we could find an ecosystem unlike any on Mars, completely sheltered by the ice.
Why should we go to this city instead of just overthrowing Victor? What are you planning?
I'm looking for a beacon. I want to get in touch with Earth, but not so I can run from the ASC, and so I can reunite with our ancestors, gain back everything we've lost. With the people of Earth, we can stop the wars over water. We can utilize the technology we lost. We can understand the choices they made.
That sounds perfect. Too perfect. I hope what we find doesn't disappoint you.
Meet Patience. We just broke him out of one of the ASC's jails. He could use a place to recover.
Then he is welcome to recover here. Our healers, Patience, will be honored to tend to your wounds.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you. All this reminds me of an old hiding spot I had in the desert. Thank you again, both of you.
This is real nice and all, but I don't know about all this.
About what?
I'm guessing you're gonna want to go to that city, right? Right. Problem is, that city's coordinates, according to what Patience said, is the South Pole. Rover's good, but it ain't that good.
Any way to make it that good?
I don't know. Gotta think about it. I mean, it'd need some sort of ice-breaking blade in the front and insulation around the whole thing.
If I know you, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I like your faith in me, but... Problem is, I don't have a damn clue how to add all that heavy shit to the rover's frame without slowing it down like fucking crazy. My dad would have known what to do. Not my dad, though. I knew he'd made improvements to his machines, but I don't remember seeing any diagrams. Though they could be somewhere in the shed. I don't know. Maybe Scott could help us?
We can ask, I guess, and head to the shed with him. See what we find.
Gonna be damn fucking cold out there, Zach.
Maybe we should go borrow some gear from Victor. He's known the site's coordinates a lot longer than we have. Sure, he's built some cold weather equipment already.
I like the way you think, Zach.
Zachariah, you look...
You've already been to the Lost City, the one under the ice, haven't you?
Yes, it's true. That's where I spent almost 2 years of my life. It was so cold there, I swear, but I had to find a remedy, and the settler's science and technology was really advanced.
You knew that I was looking for an important city that nobody could find. Why didn't you say anything?
I didn't know that you were looking for the Lost City. And to be honest with you, I would be unable to take you there. Mark was the guide, I was just a researcher. Anyhow, it is such a vast place that I only explored a quarter of it. I have to say that some pretty nasty creatures were running around in the hallways. I had to set up a small laboratory for myself. I had brought in the research documents I needed, and I would stay by myself most of the time.
Do you like Nisha?
Yes, I like that little one. First, because she saved your life, and then because she's a charming young woman. Very bright. I really wonder why she spends so much energy on that lost city. I am sure that she could have had a wonderful future with us. Even though you have to recognize that Abundance's spies are much less pleasant. Just the thought of that awful Victor.
How long have you known Amelia?
Since she was a kid. She was quite a cute child, yet so agitated. She's actually no different. She is still agitated and doesn't realize the risks she takes. Mark was more cautious. I really hope that she'll become more careful. I would be very sad if something happened to her. Sometimes I have the feeling that she thinks I'm a tiresome old man. It would be a problem. I mean, I'm not that annoying, am I?